Good morning, guys. MWUSA. Oop. Maintenance due soon. I'm taking this car in. Season 5, episode 66. It is Friday morning. We'll talk about that first. We're going to be taking this car to the dealership probably tonight. I'll call them on my way home. And I'm going to let them know, hey, this car needs an oil change. I mean, it's got over 10,000 miles on it. And I'm going to take it in, get a different rental car with a different license plate. That'll give me a little bit more freedom because I was backed off while I was using this plate. So we'll see what happens with that. Friday morning, normally go to the office, we check in, all that. We don't have to because yesterday we did it instead, so we don't have to stress about it. We just leave directly from home, and we don't have to waste time going the wrong direction before we go the right direction. Today we have only one meeting, and that's a team meeting. We're going to stop to do that on our way out to the first casino. We will stop and get fuel at that time as well. Right now we're running probably about 10 minutes early to where we want to be at that point, so we can take it easy. If there's a little bit of traffic, it's not a big deal because I want to end up in a certain spot when I do the meeting for the best fuel costs, for the best reception also, because shortly after that is when the reception really cuts off. So that's that. Now, yesterday, decent day for being at home. Made whatever it was. I know we made 300 playing poker. We made another, what was that last number yesterday? 34, right? We made 200 on slots, so that's good. Made 100 online, so that's good. So still, we didn't really go anywhere, and we still ended up making $600. If we could do that every day, it would be spectacular. I would love that. I would never go anywhere if I could do that every day for 30 days a month. So yesterday I was working on paying bills and things like that, and all the bills are paid for the rest of the month except for the gas bill, which I'm still waiting for. It's always late, and it's due like 5 days after I get it, but just waiting for that one bill. Everything else is paid for the month, and I've already started paying the bills for next month. I like to be a couple weeks ahead. So like, I'm going to go on this trip. I don't want to be on the trip and have something due, have some kind of a problem paying it or whatever. And I don't like all this automatic payments, except for like, I think my cell phone and internet. Nothing else is on automatic payments. I wanted to be able to dictate what goes out when, and make sure that the numbers are right, and not just have them take money out of my account, change the numbers, and take money out. And so I was looking at one of my credit card statements, and I saw Easy Rent on there. Easy Rent. What is Easy Rent? Well, if you recall, who knows? If you recall, back in February, I went to Vegas and I rented a car. And the car rental for like 5 days was $128. It was a good deal. The car was average. The cleanliness was average. It wasn't that great. It wasn't terrible, but it was okay. There was a long wait, and everybody complained about it. Yesterday, I went to the Better Business Bureau's website, and Easy Rent has a rating of 1.05 out of 5 stars. Now, minimum is not 0. Minimum is 1. So the minimum is 1, and the maximum is 5. And you have a 1.05. That means for every 19 people that give it a 1 rating, one person gives it a 2 rating, and the rest are all nothing. That's how bad that was. And I had heard, standing in line, that people had issues with these guys. I'm like, why are you here if you know that people have issues with these guys? And that they would try to upsell you on the insurance, which is not unusual. But then they would also come back a month later and say there was damage that there really wasn't. So when I heard that and I got my car, I immediately videotaped the whole car all the way around, all the little dings and things like that in there. And then when I returned it, I videotaped the car again. No problem. You'll recall when I went to Vegas, I had two issues that I was worried about as far as, well, three, as far as parking. MGM, which I ended up paying $20. And then Westgate, I believe, had a sign that says you have to scan this and then you have to pay, and I didn't do it. And people told me, oh, no, don't worry about it, everything's fine. So I didn't do it. And then Stratosphere, and they asked me for $20 at the door, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. I just got here, and they're like, oh, okay, well, you just got here. You've only been here 20-something minutes, so don't worry about it. And they let me go. You remember that. I talked about that on the podcast. So I look at my credit card, and I see that charge, and then I see another charge for $103.75 Easy Rent. Well, what the heck is that? It said March 19th, which is yesterday. I'm like, well, maybe I booked with them again. I don't think I did. And this is the prepayment, but I thought the amount was different. I don't understand what's going on here. So I decided to call them. I go online, I find the phone number, I give them a call. And they said there was like 8 people ahead of me in line. And it didn't take too long. It took about a minute for each person in front of me. And then it was my turn. And I said, this is what's going on. I got this charge. I don't know what it is. And she said, oh, let me look it up. What is your rental number? And I know with these garbage companies, these low-level companies, they're going to harass you as much as possible, make you go through hoops. So I already had everything ready. It was about a 20-digit number. And so I gave it to her. And she looked it up. And she said, oh, there's a parking violation. Parking violation? How could there be a parking violation? I paid at MGM. Strat told me not to worry about it, and he opened the gate for me. Must be Westgate. What's going on? And I said, no, there's nothing going on. I need you to remove this. Oh, okay, sir. I'll send you a thing about how to remove it. And she sent me, I don't know if it was a text or an email. I saw something pop up about how, here it is, disputes. Please send your disputes and concerns to us.fines@easyrent.com with your booking ID, blah, 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 with charges on your reservation about parking violation. Thank you. Okay. So I'm like, what could it possibly be? And she said, parking violation. And I said, where? And she said, Strat. I'm like, you dirty bastards. You told me that you weren't going to do anything about it, and then you ended up reporting it. So I called Strat, and I told the operator what was going on. She sent me to parking, which I guess this company does more than one casino. They asked me which casino, and I told them Strat. And then I explained the situation, and he said, well, who was your parking attendant? Oh yeah, I wrote that down. How am I supposed to know who my parking attendant was? So, actually he asked me first, who or what was the license plate of the car you were driving? Do you think I had that? Yes, I did, because when I videotaped, I got the license plate. And so I played the video while I was on the call with him. I stopped the video, got the license plate number, gave him the license plate. He looked it up. Oh, yeah, I see this. Who was your attendant? And I said, well, I don't know, but he was a younger guy, about 30 years old, black guy, kind of short, skinny, nice enough guy. He treated me nicely. He explained it to me. You're only here for 20-something minutes, and I'll take care of it for you. So the guy's name that I was talking to on the phone was Daniel. Daniel said, no problem. I'll take care of it for you. I said, this is awesome. You're going to take care of it for me. I said, he said, it's going to take 5 to 10 business days, and we'll get it removed. I said, he said, once we remove it, we'll email you. And I said, okay, no problem. I said, but just for me, could you send me an email saying that you're working on it? And he said, no problem. And so I gave him my email address, and I just paused because, you don't want to give people like 2 things to talk about at the same time because they'll drop the ball every time, and they'll, so you got to just do very minor things when you're talking to people on the phone, or they'll forget stuff. And so Daniel Bustamante Mesa, who sounded like a black guy, but I guess must be some kind of Spanish guy, said we are working on waiving violation number, blah, blah, blah. This process takes 5 to 10 business days for IT support to remove the charge. Thank you for your patience. Daniel Bustamante, Metropolis CSR, and it has a mobile number and metropolis.io for the website. So I'm going to take that, since today's Friday, we'll do our day first, and then I'm going to take that information and send it to EasyRent, and then I'm going to give them a call, tell them that it's there, make sure they have it, and get the charge removed. Now, right now the charge is still pending, so it hasn't even cleared yet, so I'm not worried. Once it clears, then I'll really be more aggressive with them. But so yesterday, as I was finishing all this stuff up, my wife said, well, I said to my son, because he was being harassed by some other sibling, let's just say, I said, why don't we go do something, just me and you? And he said, okay. So his mom said, today is free ice cream cone day. I said, what? And she said, if you go to Dairy Queen, you get a free ice cream cone. I said, okay, let's go to Dairy Queen. He said, okay. So she said, well, I'll go with you. I'm like, okay, sounds good. So we're driving to Dairy Queen, and she said, you could upgrade your ice cream cone. I'm like, here we go. Taking something that's free and turning it into money. Because you know how cheap I am. And she said, you can get a dip for only $1. And so I said to my son, do you want a dip? And he said, sure. I said, what kind of dip do you want? And he said, hey Siri. Oh, I don't want to screw up your phone by saying that. It might tell me if it comes up. Hey Siri, what kind of dip does Dairy Queen have? And it said, Dairy Queen has barbecue and honey mustard and blah blah blah. It was so hilarious. We tried to figure out how to state it in the right way, and so they had like 3 things, like butterscotch, chocolate, and mint. So he decided to get the mint, and my wife and I decided to get the chocolate, and it was $1 to upgrade. So I gave the lady $3, and there must have been 20 cars in front of us in line. I gotta hand it to Dairy Queen. What did you eat today, MW? Yesterday, I had Dairy Queen, and I gave them, I don't want to give them an ace. I give them a queen on a scale of 2 through ace, my highest rating ever, because we got through this line of 20 cars in about 7 minutes. They were ready to go. They knew everyone was ordering the same thing. They were ready. They dipped it for me. And they charged me just the $3. There was no tax, nothing to worry about, and we zipped through there and we were out of there. So Dairy Queen, I never thought it would be you, but you got the highest rating ever so far, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, a queen on a scale of 2 through ace. And got our ice cream and went home, and I said to my wife, this thing with Strat is really pissing me off. I said, when I go to Vegas, I'm going to beat the hell out of Strat. They're going to have to back me off. I pride myself on not being backed off, but if I get the opportunity, I'm going to beat the hell out of the Strat. If you remember, last time I went there, I bought the Pokemon card for my kid. So I bought something from them. I only made $50 there playing slots. And they do this to me? That's right. It's on, baby. It's on Strat. So we'll see. So anyway, not to make this the whole episode, but on our way to the first casino, going to stop for our team meeting, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, just stopped for just a tiny bit of gas. Kind of complicated. It's funny. Like my kid uses the same gas station that I use because it's just kids hang out there. And if you fill up more than 10 gallons at a time, you get like credits that you can use toward food and stuff. So right now, I was only like less than a gallon away from being able to make it to my destination do all my stuff that I'm going to do today, and come back to this gas station. So I just filled up that much. And when I come back, I'll fill up over 10 gallons and they'll be able to use it. So either way, I needed to stop whether I fill up completely or just a little bit, and then they get that point. So anyway, did that. I still have a few minutes before my my only meeting, and decided to practice counting cards 2 different ways with the 2 different systems that I talked about before, to be able to count for that side bet in Vegas that I'm going to hopefully mess around with, but I hadn't started practicing yet. So with these 2 side counts, you end up with 2 different numbers. And so I started, and it was like breaking my brain. I went through a deck of cards and my brain was just broken. And it's hard because some of the cards you count in both systems, some of them you don't count in either system, and some of them in one system but not the other. So I went through the first time and it hurt, and so I decided, all right, let's just start with 10 cards. I started with 10 cards, then I made it 20, then I made it 30, then I did the whole deck, and it worked, but I was off by a total of 5. Then by 4, then by 3, then by 1, and so now I'm getting it just about right now every time, and I've only practiced for about 10 minutes, so it is doable. You can learn new systems, but I can't help but smile while I'm doing this, because I'm learning a new system to add some spice to. Actually, it adds a little bit of spice to what I'm doing, because when you first learn to count cards and then you go somewhere and you're like, oh dang, I've got a 15, I know the dealer's going to get a 10, and you stay with that deviation, and the dealer gets the 10 and you would have busted, and you're so proud of yourself and all that. I'm going through that kind of a little bit right now, where I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool, this is something new, and I'm kind of enjoying it. So I'm taking a break right now. We're going to do the meeting here in a little bit, and then I'll try to do it at least for 10 more minutes before I get to my destination, and then on my way home I'll try to do 10 or 15 minutes a couple times. I don't want to bog myself completely down with it, but I remember when I first learned to count cards, I took a deck with me everywhere I went. A traffic light, counted the deck. Work, counted the deck. The meeting, on the computer, I'd count the deck while we're doing the meeting. Anything that I did, commercial on TV, I'd count the deck, and it feels good to go back to that and to do that and to, have a little bit of something different that you're learning. And thank you to my friend, let's just say on Discord, I don't know if he wants me to say his name, for reminding me about this system, because I knew about it, but I never really went for it. And I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to go back to the same casino that I played at last time. I made a very little bit of money there, but they do have that side bet, and I very loosely tried to keep track before, but now I'm actually going to do it. And my friend was telling me sometimes he'll bet $25 on the blackjack hand and $100 on the side bet, and it gets him a lot more time, because they're like, this guy's an idiot. Why is he betting $100 on the minus 12% side bet? And there's no way he's counting cards. So I'm excited about giving it a try. Anyway, I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back, and so far pretty muted, to say the least. I had one slot that I played with a friend of mine. It was borderline. We lost $34 each, and then I did find a blackjack table far away from everything, where Pit Boss, who did not know me at all, and sat down. It was a $25 table. Sat down, played that, and finally ended up leaving after a third person came to the table, and the dealer had just gotten a blackjack and taken us from slightly positive, like a true 1, to slightly negative, like neutral negative, and I ended up leaving because now it was crowded. After the dealer got a blackjack on that last hand, and ended up leaving ahead, but only $100. So plus $100 on the low limit table, and minus 34 so far on the slots. And we'll see what happens here. So, walking around looking for opportunity. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. Well, many hours later, not much is happening, man. It's been a boring one for sure. I'll tell you a little bit about the little that happened in there. Played, split a slot with a guy, lost $34. Later on we did another one, made $9. Later on we did another one, $5 a pull, made $25 each. So what's 34 plus 9 plus 25, or 34 minus 9 minus 25, is 0. So we broke even with the 3 pulls that we did together. I did play blackjack only the one time. Second time I went to play, everybody started coming over to the table. I'm like, you guys have got to be kidding me. So I played one time, low limit blackjack, ended ahead $100. Walked around with these guys for a long time and looked at a lot of stuff, but didn't really find very much. Put myself on the 3-3 pot limit Omaha and played or waited for that one for over an hour. And there was 9 people there, and they still didn't open it. This one guy, he sat at the table an hour, and they still didn't open it. He's like, oh, I always take the same seat. They always open it at this time. He sat there for an hour. They never opened the table. Ended up walking away from that. I had just a few hundred in chips, like 400 in chips, and cashed those out. Played one slot on my own, and I can't even remember which slot it was. Wow. What did I play on my own? I remember, oh, you know what? I think I took a picture of it. Whatever it was, not that I'm going to tell you anyway, but let me see what it was. Oh, yeah. And that one actually was $6 a spin, and I took a bad picture. The money is cut off, but it hit for $185.60 and put me ahead $114. $114. So we broke even with the teams. We made 100 on the blackjack, and then slots we made 114. So pretty pathetic right now. And I saw one guy, he's been in there 18 to 20 hours a day. It seems like at least 16 to 18 hours a day for weeks and weeks and weeks. And supposedly he doesn't need the money. So I don't know what he's doing in there. He says he's not feeling well. He's got a real bad headache, and he's had a bad headache for a long time, and he doesn't want to go home. I shook his hand. He was shaking hands so weak. I said, what's wrong? He's like, oh, it's a really bad headache. I said, you've been taking medicine? Oh, yeah, I'm taking everything. I'm like, you should go get some rest. He's like, oh, I did. I tried. Okay, well, you don't need the money, and you're abusing your body, and you're not feeling good. I mean, come on. And then, let's see, other than that, talked to a dealer for a few minutes. Really not much going on. Talked to another dealer, actually. She was dealing 00 or 20 roulette, regular American roulette. Talked to her for a few minutes, and she was shaking her head when I walked up. She said that guy had 30 numbers covered, and he still missed. She said, you don't know how often I'll be standing here dealing, and every number except for one will get covered, and somehow the ball finds that one number. I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, that's the way it is. It's going to happen sometime, and those are the times that we remember. And other times, it seems like it's the number that has the least amount of money on it. There is a big bonus brewing at this place, and technically, from what I understand, even if you have to pay taxes on it, even if you can't offset them somehow, that it's a play. The problem is the odds of hitting it are so low that I don't know if I would want to sit there. And I think you probably need $30,000 to $50,000 bankroll to sit there, and it might take you weeks, and you might not hit it, and someone else might hit it. But it's been building and building and building. It's up over 100,000 in the last 2 weeks, and it's closing in on $1 million right now. And it was in the money a while ago, but still. Some people hit a portion of it, but it built right back up quickly. So anyway, I'm I'm feeling a little lightheaded myself. All I've had today is a little bit of tea. So I think I'm going to head over, find some food, and then figure out what I'm going to do. At this point, if I go straight home, I've got a little more than an hour extra. So we might be able to do something else with that time and hopefully make some money. And I'll come back and update you. Alright guys, I am back. So I just parked down the street from this place, about half a mile away. I'm gonna walk it, and the reason is I think this one communicates with the one that backed me off on Sunday, even though it's pretty far away from there. So I don't want to take the chance. I know they have my license number, so we're gonna walk over there. I just sent a text message to the dealership, told them that this car needs service because it has 10,000 miles on it, and the car says it's due for service. And he's checking on it right now, so hopefully after we get done here, I'll go home and grab my son, because he's got some golf balls that he sold to a friend of mine, and that friend is going to be playing poker tonight. So I'm going to have him come with me to the dealership. We'll switch cars, then we'll go to the poker club and sell his golf balls, and he's going to make $60 off that. That's pretty good. And then we'll head home from there. So I think that's the plan that we're going to do. Right now I'm going to take this little walk. Nice day. It's about 70 degrees. Still put a jacket on, just because when you have layers on, it covers you up a little bit. And we're going to head in here and hopefully make a couple hundred. I don't know, maybe not. And when we get back to the car and we're driving again, we'll check some online stuff and see if there's any possibilities there. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, just leaving this one, and got a little bit creeped out there at the end because I haven't been here in the daytime with the people who knew me since the one incident happened, and I didn't want them to be here if something were to happen again, because then I know the people who know me the best would be able to recognize me, whether they're on their own shift or on a different shift, if I ever came back. So walked in and saw the guy that I would see twice a day for like 2 times a week at least, and he nodded his head at me, said hello, and was on his, everything was fine. So no issues there. I thought, okay, everything's gonna be just fine. Then I started walking around looking at stuff. I found a machine within a couple minutes, sat down to play that one. That one was a small denomination. It was only 75 cents a spin, but that thing took me on a ride. I was in it for about 140 before it finally hit, but it paid really well. And when it was done, I was ahead $106. So $106. I get up from that machine and I go to check another machine, and there's a security guard, and he was standing near where I was playing, and he was walking around with a drink in his hand. He was looking at me, and I'm like, okay, should be okay, just mind your own business, everything's fine. So I walked on, no problem, as I'm crossing a 6-lane street here. No problem, walked on, went to the back area, was walking out of that back area. Another security guard was coming toward me from that area. I'm like, okay, well, one of them could be nothing, 2 of them could be nothing, and then there were 2 more coming. I'm like, come on guys, I'm just trying to play a couple slots here. I'm not using your points, I'm not trying to get free stuff from you. All I want to do is play just like everybody else. So I kind of avoided those guys, went a different direction, and it seems like everything was okay. Maybe I was just overanalyzing everything, but everything seemed to end up okay. And I ended up walking out. That was the only play that I made. One play, 75 cents a spin, and ended the session ahead $106. So at this point now, I'm walking through somebody's yard here, someone's field, because it's so far away to my car. And we're going to head to the car. I got an answer back from Honda. They said, yes, you can come get a new car, no problem. But we close at 5. And there's no way I can get there by 5. Pretty sure I can't get there by 5. So we're going to have to do that tomorrow. They said they close at noon. I'll go in there tomorrow, and that'll give me time to vacuum out the car, get my stuff out of it. We'll grab a new Honda. I think they said it's going to be another Accord, which is fine. Hopefully a nicer one. And we'll go back to what we were doing. So, unfortunately, cutting through this field isn't helping much because there's a big fence here. All right. Well, let's get back to the car. I got a couple messages from work as well. What's going on with this? What's going on with that? Nothing. I'm waiting for other people. So, as always, as soon as I get emails, if I'm in a casino or anywhere, as soon as I get back to the car, I get as much stuff answered as possible, put everything else on everybody else. So, if they ask me for something, I ask the right person, I'm waiting for them. When they email me back, I send the information right away. So no one's ever waiting for me. I'm always waiting for someone else. And I like that because I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm not doing what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to be doing. So I always want to get everything off of my desk and onto someone else's desk so they know that I'm doing a good job. Anyway, tired of talking and walking, so gonna walk the rest of the way to the car, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, back in the car and getting going here. Yeah, so it looks like tomorrow I'll get the new car, which is good because I'll be able to take it on a trip on Sunday. So, cool. Yeah, right now we are going to continue on. We're going to go back to the gas station we went to this morning and fuel up, obviously, and then we're going to head toward home. In the meantime, I'll be checking some online stuff to see if there's any possibilities right now as well. I'll be back. Okay, that was interesting. I mean, is there ever a day when it's not interesting? It's always has to be something going on here. So, I've had a Honda for probably 22 of the last 24 years. All right, and all of them have had the push button, the push door for the fuel, the fuel tank door. All right, so you push it in, it pops out. It's got a little thing in there. You push it once, it locks. You push it again, it unlocks. All right. This car's going back tomorrow, right? It's going back in like, whatever, less than 12 hours it's going back. Alright, so, or whatever, less than 24 hours, about 18 hours it's going to go back. I pull in, I'm playing online. Actually, by the way, I won 120 playing online. So, I open my door, throw some stuff in the trash, just casual, go push the button, the door won't open. Push it, won't open. Push it, won't open. Try to stick something in there, won't open. And this guy next to me brings over this big metal thing. I'm like, oh, hey, oh, hey. He's trying to pry it open. I'm like, no, don't pry it open. So I go online, and I see that in the trunk, there's like a pull cord in there. And when you pull it, it releases it. So I pulled it, nothing. Pull it, nothing. Pull it, nothing. But I guess pulling it did something, because then when I went back and pushed it again, it worked out. So I was a little bit worried. I'm like, okay, I've got like 20 miles range now, and I live, 190 miles away from here, and I need to get home. So anyway, luckily all that worked out. Got my fuel, got a drink, everything's good. And it's the end of the day at work, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Now we're just chilling and driving, and we'll do some other stuff. I'm going to talk about some other things here in a minute, and then I might have you along with me and my son when we go drop off those golf balls that he sold. So I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and I am sitting at McDonald's. My son just went in to go to the bathroom. I just wanted to catch you up on what we did. We actually went to a computer store because we were going to deliver these golf balls, but the guy was delayed. So we went in there. We actually bought a Raspberry Pi starter kit, which, if you don't know, is like a tiny little computer. And so we're going to start with that at home and see what we can do with it, mess around with it. And you can connect the keyboard, mouse, speakers, monitor, all that, and then you can create little programs and things. So that was cool. And then we went to this little like comic book store that also had Pokemon, and there was a release of some new Pokemon stuff today, and it was already like $60 at Walmart, and it's only $20 at this place. Limit one per person. And the guy was like, "Yeah, I don't believe in grading cards or keeping them closed. They're for opening them up and enjoying them." He's this hippie guy. So obviously, it's not about making money. It's about, for him, it's about letting people experience it and all that kind of stuff. So that was cool, because if it was about just making money for him, then we wouldn't have been able to buy them. But we're not going to open them. The guy's like, "I'm against people not opening them." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So we did that. Then we went to the dollar store. I picked up some stuff there, and then we met at the poker club to meet this guy, and we went to the poker club and we waited for like half an hour. He didn't show up. I left the golf balls with the guard, and we are gonna head home. My son's coming out now. I'll come back and update you. All right, guys. Just to kind of wrap things up here. We did drop off the golf balls to the guard at the club, and just headed home. We can just skip all the different things that we usually do, and I can catch up with you guys on Sunday. So today is Friday, and I'll catch up with you guys on Sunday. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.